One sourceless rumor about the Dodgers forces the Padres to buy even further into Manny Machado. Paul George says he got exactly what he wanted out of Russell Westbrook, except of course a win. And just how far away are the Rams from being a playoff team again? Good morning. I'm James. This is your daily dose of sports and snark for the greatest sports city in the world, Los Angeles. This is the faithful Angelenos morning report. It is February 26, 2023. We added a new subscriber to the Angelino familia. Thank you. Thank you for doing that. I appreciate every one of you. And it's Sunday. It's a day of appreciation. Take a moment, thank God for the blessings you have in your life. Just a moment, because I'm in a great mood. It's hilarious watching San Diego act like this. If you like the content we put out about LA sports, clickety-clack the like button. Clickety-clack the subscribe button. There's a notifications bell. Hit that. It'll let you know when we drop new content. Sharing is caring. Let people know we exist. By all means, comment. It's hilarious to me today. Before we go through the news and notes, a look at the scoreboard. USC 62, Utah 49. Look, Boogie Ellis scored 16 points. The Trojans have won 4 in a row, and they are now tied with Arizona for second place in the Pac-12. Impressive. Meanwhile, today, the Lakers are at Dallas at 12:30. You know, Luka Doncic of the Mavericks is now so important that people are demanding who is going to D up on him before the game. So the Lakers oblige. Your matchup is going to be against Jared Vanderbilt. We'll see how that plays out. Fourth-ranked UCLA is at Colorado at 1. The LA Times have asked if Jaime Jaquez Jr. is the player of the year in the Pac-12. Now, the stats favor Arizona's Azules Tubelis, but the pedigree and the Bruins' record obviously favors Jaquez. We'll see how that goes. The Kings are at New York Rangers at 2 o'clock. The Kings have finally scored more goals than they've allowed, so kudos to that. And the Clippers are at Denver at 7 o'clock. Now, we talk a lot about whether or not Paul George or Kawhi Leonard is going to play. We forget to ask about Ivica Zubac, and he is not playing, so that's going to open up a lot of problems against Nikola Jovic tonight. But I got to start off. Look, the news just broke about an hour or so ago. I want to start off with the San Diego Padres because they just cut another ridiculous long-term, no-trade, $300+ million contract for Manny Machado, and it is absolutely hysterical to me because every move the Padres make is in response to a Dodger rumor. It's like junior high. You hear a rumor and you panic over it. That's exactly the way the San Diego front office acts. You know, you take last year's All-Star game. Fans in the pavilions were chanting at then Washington Nationals outfielder Juan Soto, future Dodger. Now San Diego hears this and they eviscerate their entire minor league farm system in order to land this guy. The whole thing, it was hysterical. You're watching them plunge the sword right into their abdomen and just start carving out Juan Soto's name while their entrails and their internal organs spill on the floor. They once had an elite farm system. Now it's like 29th in baseball. It was like watching the movie Faces of Death. It was gross, but you couldn't take your eyes off it. And then, of course, 2 days ago, the LA Times asked an obvious question that I didn't want to ask. Millions of Dodger fans didn't want to ask it either. The return of Manny Machado from San Diego. Sure, he can hit. He was the number 2 person in NL MVP voting last year. But he, if you recall, he left LA for San Diego, and he did not leave on good terms. He tells people, he tells the press, he doesn't believe in hustling. He doesn't like to run. Fans don't like to hear that stuff. Neither do teammates. But that didn't stop the Padres from signing him to a massive contract, which he opted out of, or was going to opt out of, at the end of this year. And why wouldn't he? He's watching San Diego throw around long-term money on these ridiculous contracts like the Padres got drunk and started making it rain at the Spearmint Rhino. Because the Padres believe that the only way to beat the Dodgers is to outspend them. San Diego's payroll was once among the lowest in baseball. Now it's way over 200 million, and that was before the Machado contract extension, which came one day after the LA Times brought up the possibility that the Dodgers might consider bringing Machado back. That sent a cold shudder right through the spine of the Padres owners. It was a panic buy. Machado gets an 11-year, $350 million extension with a no-trade clause. Machado's 31, by the way. He's going to be 42 at the end of the deal. 42! And the Dodgers never said they wanted him back. And that was just like the deal the Padres gave Xander Bogaerts. They heard the Dodgers needed a shortstop. The Padres went nuts. Xander Bogaerts, 11 years, $280 million. Fernando Tatis, an even longer deal, 14 years, $340 million. But oh, he's going to be such a spring chicken at the end of that deal at the age of 38. Basically, the San Diego Padres are acting like they're buying 5 or 6 houses late in 2006, thinking that they could flip them and become fabulously wealthy. This is a franchise that has never drawn 3 million fans in a year. Nobody in LA wanted Manny Machado back. We just made the Padres negotiate with nobody and cut a check for $350 million. And Soto, by the way, is going into free agency at 2024. Are the Puds going to cut what? $500 million for this guy? Money they don't have? The San Diego Padres, out of fear of the Dodgers, bought a very brief window of opportunity. And by brief, I mean this year, because the Dodgers have $66 million coming off the payroll at the end of the year. And then it'll be their turn to play roto baseball. Well done, San Diego. Well done. Spent way over $1 billion because you think that's the way to beat the Dodgers. Well done. Last season, I mentioned the name Ryan Pepiot quite a bit. He's a spot starter. The Dodgers kept bringing him up. Spot start, go back to Oklahoma. Spot start, back to Oklahoma. He was effective. He was 3-0 with a 3.47 ERA. Not embarrassing himself. But what would it take for him to pass, say, and get on the rotation? How do you break a rotation? With Clayton Kershaw, with Julio Urias, with Noah Syndergaard? Well, Dave Roberts says Pepiot, who's just 25, has been working on his delivery to be more consistent, and that his understanding of how to pitch has been improving. Little footnote. By the way, the Dodgers lost their spring training opener yesterday to Milwaukee 7-4. I didn't bother to look anything up about it. I don't care about spring training. Paul George said that despite the Clippers' loss to Sacramento, he enjoyed playing along Russell Westbrook again. The two played over at the Oklahoma City Thunder. Quote, "It's about what I imagined," George said. "It feels like we've done this before," unquote. Please note, though, the Clippers committed 25 turnovers in that game. And we have talked about that. The Clippers wanted a point guard because they couldn't keep control of the basketball. So has it really changed? Has it? 25 turnovers? It was only a matter of time, by the way. Westbrook took a little swipe at the Lakers yesterday, but in all honesty, it was just a little swipe. The press is trying to build it up. He said he likes being with the Clippers because, quote, "a lot of teammates and people who want you here. That's very important to me. I value that a lot. I have been in this league a long time, and being somewhere where people want you in there, appreciate you, that means a lot to me." Again, there are going to be people online who are going to be claiming that it's shots fired. It's not. Let the man be happy for once. He's no longer in purple and gold. Everybody gets what they want. Amidst all the hype about Jalen Ramsey rumors over with the Rams and coaching staff upheaval, there is a simple equation for the Rams to return to the playoffs next year. To flip the script on that embarrassing 5-11 record, I think it was 5-12 actually. This is according to CBSSports.com. They're basically saying, look, if the Rams aren't as banged up next year, and maybe they add some players on 1 year prove yourself level type contracts, they could get 10 wins easily, slide back into the playoffs. The team needs are guard, tight end, edge rusher, corner, defensive tackle, and a quarterback that could hopefully replace Matthew Stafford in the near future. The Rams, by the way, don't have a first-round draft pick. Now, the idea of adding an edge rusher becomes more emergent if the Rams do what The Athletic thinks the Rams might do. They suggest that cutting outside linebacker Leonard Floyd to get under the salary cap is a definite possibility. Now, Floyd has 29 sacks in 3 years, so that would hurt. It would. Also, center Brian Allen is another possibility to get clipped in a salary cap move. Who can fill the shoes, however, of a person who already was cut? Bobby Wagner. It's an absurd question when you think about it. And when you ask absurd questions, sometimes, unfortunately, you get absurd answers. There's a blog out there called Ramblin' Fan. It's a Rams guy blog, and he tried to find 3 options that are already in-house. These are not good options. I'm not trying to clown the man. I realize he's looking for answers. They're simply not good options. You are fooling yourself if you think that Jake Gervais, Christian Roseboom, or Jake Hummel are the answer if only they get coached up. Not for a future Hall of Famer. Not for Bobby Wagner. Not happening. The latter 2 were undrafted free agents, for Pete's sake. The Athletic also listed players that they believe that were most improved at their respective positions. The Chargers' Michael Davis was named by them as the most improved cornerback in the league. The Bolts had demoted him at the start of the year with the signing of J.C. Jackson, but Jackson got hurt. Davis gets his gig back, and he played a significant role, whether or not it was press man coverage or zone with a cover 2. Helped the Chargers get into the playoffs. They wouldn't have made it without him. The Athletic also targeted guard Matt Filer as the player most likely to get cut in a salary cap move. They say he's been regressing over the last 2 years. Now, he wouldn't be the only player that would need to be cut in order to get the Bolts under the salary cap. They already have, however, a viable option to replace Filer. If you recall rookie Jamari Salyer, he was a tremendous fill-in as a rookie when the team had multiple injuries on the offensive line. Anybody else notice that LeBron James kind of stunk up the joint on Thursday? For that matter, so did Anthony Davis, and D'Angelo Russell turned an ankle. The top 3 Lakers scorers combined for just 27 points, and yet the team still beat the daylights out of Golden State. How'd that happen? Well, you remember how all that time we were saying the Lakers couldn't shoot from the outside? The trades apparently are helping that were made a couple of weeks ago. The Lakers sank more than half of their 3-point field goal attempts in that win over the Warriors. 6 other players aside from LeBron and Davis scored in double figures. Former Lakers center Dwight Howard has been playing in Taiwan. We mentioned this. The thing about playing basketball in Asia, a friend of mine likes watching Asian professional basketball, not because of the quality, but because of the fist fights. In Asian leagues, they will fight. And it's not the whole NBA making empty threats and getting in other people's faces and puffing out your chest. No, they throw down in these Asian basketball leagues. It's a type of fist fight where 2 people who have nothing to fear go at it. That kind of fist fight. And Dwight Howard was one of 11 players who got ejected for fighting in a game. So I want to thank Dwight Howard, because now we get to hear Shaq continue the weakest trash talk war in human history with Dwight Howard. I'm praying. It's Sunday. It's a day of prayer. I am praying that Shaq keeps his lips zipped about Dwight Howard getting into a team brawl. Okay? I get it. This whole thing went down because 2 grown-ass men have a Superman fetish. Please, bury it. It is not fun to hear. But what is fun to do is to talk LA sports. So you let me know what you think in the comments thread, because I'm here to tell you the Padres did not improve themselves. They panic bought over a Dodger rumor yet again. Let me know what you think about the Rams possibly returning to the playoffs. What did you think of Russell Westbrook's Clipper debut? And again, if you like the content, don't forget to subscribe to Faithful Angelenos. We talk LA sports each and every day. Thank you for watching. I'm James. We'll be back tomorrow. Faithful Angelenos is a Kian Corte El Queso production. Take care.